Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on fire. Time for a girl on fire. Time for
My dumbass is over here trying to figure out what Courtney's talking about. It's the intro, Paisley. It's always the intro. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Guess what? They're here. I have a blemish. It's fine. It's fine. They're fine. We're all fine. I hope that everybody is fine, indeed. We're going to watch some of the TPOs that we didn't get to yesterday, because I still have them. Oh my god. You know, I went past the abbot. Is that what it's called when you, where the nuns live? An abbey, maybe? I think it's an abbey. Anyways, I went by there this morning. I asked them, hey ladies, what's up? Sup ladies, what are you doing? Do you want my boobs? And they were confused and then said no. So, does dark purple work for you, John? I like it. In fact, nuns do get wild. Do you know the only reference I have for nuns has got to be the Whoopi Goldberg movie. Sister Act, right? Oh, and Pornhub stuff, yeah, for sure. Whoops. Whoopsie-doopsie-doo. Anyways, temperature, let's do a little temperature check here because it's hot as fuck. Please understand when I say this, it's because we don't have air conditioning and we're not used to this. So it is a whopping, 74 degrees, which feels like 77, which feels like 100. It's as good as 100 without AC. Oh, I know what AC feels like. I'm no longer the child who doesn't understand what they're missing. Speaking of what I'm missing, this is a sugar-free Red Bull. Can you hang out here for a second? So the sugar-free Red Bull and I will be drinking, I'll be drinking it. It will not be drinking me. Fuck. Sorry. Also, I have a little, like, what is this? Like a little uppity, a little up. Oh my gosh, 97. Anyways, I'm very proud of myself. It has officially been 7 days. We started on the 2nd of July. It's been 7 days. I've had 0 Coca-Cola. 0. And I've been drinking mostly water. But today, I walked my ass up to the store so that I could get some ice. And with that ice, I get myself my favorite little Red Bull. Now, do I like it as much 0 sugar? No. No, I don't. In fact, water is seeming better and better every day. But I think the real lesson here is that sugar is fucking delicious. Like, wow. Amazing. I don't know why, but it is so delicious. Fake sugar, not so delicious at all. I don't know why. It still makes it sweet, but it's not good. Anyways. You wish you could get your son to quit drinking pop. Well, Vicky, give him a bottle of caffeine pills and challenge him. Because if you just do the sugar, not the caffeine and the sugar at once, you have a lot better chance. Coca-Cola is the hardest Coke that I've ever quit in my life. I'll tell you that. Tell you that. Anyways, back to Thurston County, where the neighbors are mean, the trees are green, and the streets are lean. Seriously, what the fuck is happening in Thurston County? That's only a couple hours away from me. Closer than I am to most of you folks. Oh, Angela, we've already been here. We've already done that. We're not here for you. We're not here for you, Angela. We're not here for you either, Tay. We're here for these people. Yay! Oh my god. I'm a rhyming genius.
0, Ms. Ling's petition for an anti-harassment order. Bear with me
I'd
here
also
while I,
like to bring something up.
okay, so something before we have a hearing?
Yeah, something came up recently. I had my cousin recently come over last night. And he told me that the respondent, it was around the time 5/31/2025, the respondent had also reached out to him too.
To your cousin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Not sure what I should do with that.
Okay, I'm just feeling really shaken about that.
Okay. All right, so again, I'm trying to get this file to open, just a second. There we go, now I've got it open. Okay, so Mr. Taylor, did you receive a copy of the notice and the petition?
Yes.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'm going to swear the parties in. Can I have you both raise your right hands, please? Do you each swear the testimony that you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor. Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, and Ms.
Why is my hand so red? Are my hands always red like that? Oh, it's because I was holding the can, which made it cold. Then it got hot. Welcome to my brain. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
I think you are the petitioner. You get to go first, so go right ahead.
Okay, Your Honor. Is it okay if I refer from my packet? Because I put a lot of evidence in there.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so it all started in the beginning of 2016. I didn't know this person, Your Honor, and they reached out.
Hold on. Hold on. Julie, you're more than welcome to be here with your friend Sauvignon Blanc. I know a Russian girl from the same area named Vodka. No, I'm just joking. Welcome. We're glad to have you. We're just getting started. Angela, honestly, you're pissing me off. I know that if I was neighbors with Angela and she knocked on my door and got pissed at me about my lawn, oh, God. I don't know what would happen, Casey Carey. I don't know. I love you too, Julie. I love you too.
To me via Facebook. We met in 2019, and that's when we started dating. We met at Salmon Bay Park in Seattle, Washington, and in August or in September, I got a job at Taco Bell in Seattle, Washington, and we also had a close mutual friend at the time, Cameron. And he was using that as a way to emotionally manipulate me and to get him to date him or do what he says or do this, do that. And when Cameron moved away, that's when he started stalking my work. He would show up before and after my shift. He would sometimes spend over 8 hours a day just waiting for me to get off so he could bother me, try to hang out with me. He would ask me out repeatedly. I would say no. It got to the point where I eventually gave in and said yes to dating, only to want to break up. And it was really hard breaking up with this person, Your Honor.
I have a few questions. I have a few thoughts. Angela's even uncomfortable here, and Angela's a psycho, allegedly, in my opinion. Fuck! I dropped that. Anyways, folks, don't date people you're uncomfortable with. Just don't. Also, if somebody's hanging out at Taco Bell for 8 hours a day for one of the employees, like, maybe tell your manager. You know what I'm saying? If I was the manager, I would do something about it. I would go and speak with him. Then I would call the police. Oh my God. Squirted all over me. Hi, Dwight. From Indiana, baby. Love it. Is Indiana considered the Midwest? You'll have to forgive my ignorance. I'm learning.
He would like text me.
Did I miss something? We have to go back. Did I miss something?
He would like text me. I have severe PTSD from like the recent stalking. It is really taking a toll on my life.
Do you want to take a break here and come back to this in a little bit? I can talk to other people and handle their cases if you need a minute.
I think I'll be okay. Like he would text me abusive messages repeatedly, like I can't say it in court because I don't want to break the code of conduct, Your Honor, but he would text me really horrible messages repeatedly. He would take my phone when we were dating. He would text my friend me messages without my consent or my knowledge. He would also, and when I moved to Olympia, I used to live in Seattle, Washington. I moved to Olympia, Washington in November of 2021. And that's when he started really stalking my location through Find My iPhone, Find My app, through the Apple Maps, just really stalking my location. And he would take screenshot. He took a screenshot of my location, and I have that on page 10 of one of my packets. And he would be like, he took a screenshot, and that's my neighborhood, Your Honor. That's like where I live, like in my neighborhood, and I still currently live there today. And I sometimes don't feel safe at home from this. And when we broke up in 2022, he got more abusive. It turned into cyberbullying. He also impersonated his sister one time, texting me through a random number on page 13, threatening suicide, saying that he was hella depressed and wanted to kill himself. He proceeded to reach out after being blocked. I would block him numerous times, Your Honor. Like, I have history of blocked accounts. I have evidence of that. I have evidence of my parents even getting involved, telling this person to leave me alone, and they haven't left me alone. And as of currently 5/31/2025, I created a new, I also transitioned in 2024 and 2023 and around that time, and I changed my name and pronouns on social media to a different last name, and to make it also harder for Cyrus to find me on Instagram, because that's his main platform. To Rowan Iris's he him. And on 5/31/2025, he found an account with less than 80 followers. I don't know how he found me. We have no mutual friends. All my friends in my friend group are either afraid of him or just like don't like him because Cyrus, the respondent, had done something to make them not like him. And I'm really struggling, and I just want to feel safe, Your Honor. Like, I really just want to put this behind me and just move on and just feel safe.
Is there anything else you want to say before I hear Mr. Taylor's side of it?
Yeah, I provided. And that's about it. Your Honor. I'm feeling really overwhelmed.
Mr. Taylor, why don't you go ahead and tell me your side?
So we started dating, and she's been to multiple family gatherings, like family parties, and I do tend to harass her, and I will never do it again, and I will never reach out to her.
Hold on, did he just say I tend to harass her? That's probably not a good thing to admit, sir, but oh dear. What is going on? I think it's his sister, John. I'm pretty sure she got very agitated when the applicant asked or alleged that she impersonated his sister. I believe that this is his sister, but I don't know. This is scary. I feel bad for him, but bro, you can't be chasing after people that don't want to be with you. What a nightmare. Oh my god.
I do tend to harass her, and I will never do it again, and I will never reach out to her again, and never contact her ever again. In your honor.
In Your Honor, may I say something?
Can you tell me who you are?
Yeah, I'm Sayla Taylor. I'm Cyrus's sister. Cyrus
Uh-huh.
does have autism, so I'm kind of just here for support and to be
Mhm.
here. And he's aware of his actions. They're wrong. They won't ever happen again. If this had been brought to my attention, I would have made it. I'm not excusing his actions, but I would have made sure it stopped. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He never wants to make someone feel uncomfortable. He has no means of commuting. He doesn't drive. He doesn't have a license. He would never go to Olympia. They haven't seen each other 5 years, 4 years. Yeah, I mean, I've met her. She went to all the family parties. The location, the only way you can see a location on Find My Friends is if they're sharing it back. So I'm not excusing that, but if you didn't want that to happen, then remove him from Find Your Friends, you know?
All right, well, I mean, I appreciate the explanation about Mr. Taylor and kind of why his disposition is the way it is. And, you know, if you're there to support him so that he can be here for this hearing and all that, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Right. And I mean, there's a lot to this case. I mean, obviously more than the parties have said. I've read quite a bit that's been filed with this case. And you know, I think it's pretty obvious that this Ling's quite upset over what really amounts to stalking behavior that's been going on. And Mr. Taylor, I'm glad to hear that you realize that you shouldn't do that and that you intend not to do that anymore in the future. That's definitely good. And you're going to need to follow through with that promise and not continue to try and contact Miss Ling, not in any way monitor her whereabouts or surveil her, because if you do, that would be a violation of the conditions of the order that I'm going to sign here, and that's going to extend that anti-stalking protection order for another year. In fact, in this case, I'm going to extend that to 2 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is incredibly
Your Honor, I have a
unusual.
question.
Incredibly unusual.
When you're ready.
Okay, just give me a second, okay?
They almost always say you have to come back and apply again. You guys, I got a new strain of weed. Cherry bomb! Cherry bomb! Angela, you are pissing me off up there. Jesus fucking Christ. I can just tell. Angela would not like me as a student, and I would not like her as a teacher. Oh, you're trying to be cute now? It doesn't work, ma'am. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Oh, I dropped a piece of weed on the ground. On the ground. No, we watched her already. Remember, Jonathan? She was the one with the... We watched yesterday. We watched yesterday. Judge is so patient. I think that Cyrus's sister
All right, Ms.
needed to get
Lee,
involved sooner.
You got a question.
Yeah, will this also limit the respondent to reaching out to me via social media?
Any contact.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
Your Honor. I
this,
really
yeah, will
appreciate it.
prohibit any contact. All right, I've signed the anti-stalking protection order. This order is in effect for 2 years until July 7th of 2027. Ms. Ling will give you a copy of that now. Since you're here, Mr. Taylor, the court clerk, is going to send that to you via email later on today, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thanks for coming in. All right, she'll let you know when that's ready.
Hey, News Now. Smash that like button, folks. What's next, Judge? Next? By the way, I'm making bacon macaroni and cheese tonight. I got bacon on sale today. $3 for 375 grams.
There you go. You too. Okay, next, excuse me, next will be Isaiah and Melissa Morgan and Jeff and Don Swanstrom. Case number 25-171. Okay. All right. Now I see Melissa Morgan, I see Isaiah Morgan, and Jeff and Don Swanstrom. All right. So in this case, it's Isaiah and Melissa Morgan who are the petitioners, and the Swanstroms who are the respondents. All right, before we get started, can I have each of you raise your right hand, please? And do you each swear the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, so the Morgans are the petitioners here, and I'll let you decide between yourselves who's gonna go first.
I guess I'll go. So, as we submitted our evidence, as you can see in the emails, as well as pictures that were taken over our privacy fence, this has led to us seeking this order. Emails were sent to Snap-on Tools, which in a way I am affiliated with, but they are not my employer. I am a franchisee. So it caused turmoil in my workplace. It caused a pending suspension, as well as I had to serve proof of all this as well to Snap-on. And then as well as another developing in this, on June 17th, cops have showed up to our house once again, let me know that they called, made a complaint. I asked the officer if there was anything I was doing wrong, and he said I was within my rights and there's nothing he could see that I am doing wrong, but it was his job to notify me. So as far as that, the officers on Tuesday, June, I want to say, or it was like May 28th or something like that. I had emailed the city of Tenino because a spotlight was shined into my backyard. I took pictures of it at 10 o'clock. I took pictures of it on at 11 and pictures on at midnight. the chief of police had contacted me and said there was nothing he could do personally, but he could go ask them to take it down. They didn't have to remove it, but he would deal with it. And at that time, I had told the chief of police as well that, I don't look to take it any further. I would just like the spotlight taken down that was directly shined into my backyard. So he went and made contact with them, in which they did take it down. And this was probably about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. And then he had called me back and notified me that they had removed it. I had instructed the officer that that was great. I wasn't going to seek any more legal actions on the case. Then at 10:35, Snap-on Tools customer care emailed me, letting me know that somebody was making a complaint against the franchise, which at that point they were confused on what was going on, which I had instructed them it was my neighbors. So at that time, I called back the chief of police and I said, hey, now after you've asked them to take the light down, they have now sent an email to my employer, or not my employer, but to Snap-on's franchisee complaint line, or whatever you want to call it. And so I asked the chief of police, what do I need to do next? And he goes, well, if the email doesn't directly harm you or anybody on your property or your property, you're going to have to seek an anti-harassment order through Thurston County, which at that point I had got off the phone with the chief of police. I had called my wife, let her know what was going on. And at that point, I think that was June 3rd or June 4th, the order was granted for the temporary upon the evidence we submitted. And then it's just, now it's continuing. I mean, I have them circling my house. As I've talked to the cops, it's been a couple times, several times over a span of quite a while that these people have been calling, making little complaints. I've asked the chief as well, like, how many valid complaints have you seen? How many times have you cited me for anything? And he basically told me there's been nothing that we've been able to cite. Now, I do also want to add that I was arrested for disorderly conduct, which is in Tenino Court, which is currently, from what I understand, is going to be dismissed on August 17th. This is kind of Memorial Day weekend. This happened. Then these guys start attacking us, and it's just progressing. And honestly, other than June 17th when the cops showed up, it's been pretty peaceful. It's probably been the most peaceful in probably several months. I don't know if this is in retaliations because of me contacting the city, getting ready to get permits to do a new fence and build a shop. I don't know if this is all because of that, but I want to just be able to go about my life. As far as I'm concerned, these people attacked me, said slandering words about me to really somebody who didn't even matter. And then in the pictures, you could see that they shined a spotlight point blank into my yard. So that's kind of where we're at now, and we're just looking for peace.
Sounds like it's
All right. And Miss Morgan, are you going to add anything to what Mr. Morgan said?
Yeah, I was the one that initially first saw. So in the picture, it's a little hard to see, but there was a middle finger light that they had put up onto their window into our backyard, as well as my dogs were barking at the time. I was getting ready to go to bed. I do wake up early at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I ran out there to go grab them, bring them inside. And it's when I heard the Jeff Swanstrom tell my dogs to shut the fuck up. And then he responded with, I'm going to call the non-emergency, is what led to the Memorial Day weekend outburst where my husband was arrested. I did take a picture and show that, and that's just when that escalated. So my story is just the previous part leading up to the floodlight in our backyard, and then the email right after we asked them to get it taken down. For me, I think it's just been I do work part-time from home, so I am home a lot, and to not feel safe to have my dogs out there. Because if you're cussing at dogs, I'm not really sure like what else you're able to do, and sending emails to people's work to have some reprimand of, I'm not really sure why. They did in 2024, they did ride their bikes in front of our house during 4th of July. They introduced themselves. They were super nice. They met our dogs, so I know that they've met our dogs before. So I'm not really sure what happened in between last year meeting our dogs and then where we're at today. But it has been peaceful, like my husband said. Just not having any interaction or any yelling or things back and forth. It's just been nice, and I would just like to keep it that way.
Okay, thank you. All right, and the Swanstroms?
Yes, Your Honor. Did you receive the documents that were sent in last week?
In my,
What do we think these people are? Where are we going? High levels of Karen vibes with both, but I actually am getting very Karen vibes from Dawn over here. Especially when people ask to rely on their documents. Concerning, what can your neighbors be doing? So what if he has a Snap-on fucking tool business, ma'am? Do you know what? In this economy, everybody's gotta hustle, okay? Like, these old people need to shut the fuck up and, like, get on with life. Jesus Christ. You need to move to the country where you don't see nobody if you want that kind of life. You can't be living in the city and then complaining about hearing people and seeing people. It's out of control. I'm sorry. That's what blinds are for.
no, in my file,
Because there should be a statement from the Tenino Police Chief, as well as from us, and some attached videos, photos.
you submit those. Do we have anything?
I have not been served anything
Yeah,
additional.
it looks like there was some material submitted this morning. That's kind of too late. So why don't you just
Well,
tell me what it is you want me to know?
Well, no, I did. Well, I was confirming with the court. I actually sent them last Wednesday, and I was confirming that you had received them. And it looks like they must not have sent them to you until just now. There's no illuminated middle finger. I put up a little sticker on the window because after Isaiah was moving the Snap-on truck up and down the fence for, I'm not sure what reason, I'm just assuming it was to try to harass and intimidate us, block us from something. I'm not sure. It's really large. If you have the pictures, you can see that it towers over our house. It's really strange and uncomfortable. Yes, we were out putting some things in our shed on Memorial Day weekend. Their dogs were barking. My husband did yell at the dog, then went and got it a biscuit and tossed it over the fence because he's never been mean to the dogs. We, like all the pets around here, we feed our landlord's dog, who is also sitting in your courtroom right now. It's just a thing that we've always done. They've never spoken to us and asked us to stop feeding their dogs. It was the first time I'd seen that was in their statement. So of course we immediately stopped feeding them. We had a diabetic cat, so we understand food allergies.
Stop. Okay, we're good.
As far as reporting the truck, I was told that was well within my rights, just where it's parked. It's just a huge towering obstruction to us. Would you like me to read the police chief's statement to you?
It's not a matter of what I would like.
I got a question. What kind of house are they in where any Snap-on tools truck towers over their house? Is it a tiny home? Jeff and Dawn, are you in a tiny home? Oh my god. My brain was having a really, really hard. Oh, I guess this new weed is pretty good. Because I was just trying to figure out why they had the flags in their living room, but that's the judge's fucking Zoom screen. Woo!
If you'd like
Well,
to
the
submit
police,
something, go
the
ahead.
police chief's statement contradicts their statement that the police chief said.
I just don't want to be called a liar. They're telling me I said things that I didn't say and do. Yes, we reported them to Snap-on. I feel I was in my rights to call a corporate company when the vehicle's used for mischief, I thought. I have, after that time, I have not reported any more back to Snap-on. I left it alone. It's his job. You're right. Maybe the first time was to Snap-on, but after that, I don't want the guy to get fired. I want nothing bad to happen to him. I don't want nothing bad to happen to his dogs. There was something that they told me that they have dogs with allergies. If I would have known that, I'd have never feeding their dogs a biscuit. And I'm sorry. I won't ever feed their dogs a biscuit. And yes, occasionally they can be annoying. And yes, occasionally you can yell over the fence. I apologize. I didn't mean that. Yeah, I yelled at their dog across the fence. He was being annoying and sorry. I apologize for that. Other than that, I don't know what we've done wrong.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay.
Can I?
As far as I can tell, from the material that's been submitted here and in support of the petition and what I've heard from everybody here testifying today, there is not any basis to issue an anti-harassment order. I'm not at all satisfied that any harassment has occurred. I'm sorry that you don't get along. I'm sorry that you find the need to complain about each other and call the police and make reports and report to the employers, but that, if that's how you're going to deal with each other, then I don't think that's pleasant, but you're certainly within your rights to do it. If anything else happens, maybe that'll show a pattern or a course of conduct that harasses another person, but at this point, I don't see that it does. So this petition for an anti-harassment order is denied.
Thank you, sir.
The big D.
There was a temporary order issued by Judge Pro Tem McDonald back on June 4th, and that order is terminated as of now.
Christopher Engel, B, when's your birthday,
Now, do we
baby?
get 14 days to contest this decision?
No, this is a final decision of the court. You can appeal a decision that you don't agree with.
Jay, is
Now,
it your
Mr.
birthday
Morgan, I think
today?
there's another case involving you, so I'll call that one next if you'll just stand by.
Yeah, this is their landlord. That is, I felt like this should be realized in the previous court case as well.
All right, but wait until I call that case.
Baby, you guys
All
are
right, the
making me
court
laugh.
clerk will distribute copies of this written order to each of you later today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. All right, so next I'm going to call, make sure I have the right one. That is Willardson versus Morgan. Devin and Crystal Willardson. Okay, and you're here in the courtroom. Yeah,
Jay,
grab it.
you're not supposed. September 4th, which is 9/4. Your name. I love it though. I don't know why I thought that. Christopher, I know your birthday's coming up, and I know yesterday was Beverly's, and the day before, not the day before, 3 days before, whatever, the 5th is Courtney's birthday. Double arm titty lift from me, Mac. Did I do it? I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I don't know what case is after this. If we've watched it, we'll skip it. Back it up and watch Melissa? Alright. 10 seconds enough? 10 seconds enough? Let's see.
That is Willardson versus Morgan. Devin and Crystal Willardson. Okay, and you're here in the courtroom. Yeah, you grab a seat there in front of one of the microphones.
Good eye.
And this is
G-O-O-D-Y-E.
25-178. Am I saying your name right? Willardson?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
G-O-O-D-E-Y-E.
Right, and in this
Good eye,
case,
good eye,
Mr.
good
Morgan,
eye.
Mr. Morgan, you're the respondent. The Willardsons are the petitioners, so they're gonna get to tell me their side of it first. So before we start, can I have each of you raise your right hands, please? Do each of you swear the testimony that you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you. All right, and as between the two of you, I'll let you decide who wants to start.
She submitted all the paperwork.
Submitted the petition.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go right ahead, man.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, I believe that as long as you have what I've written, I don't think that I have much else to say as long as it's written well enough in there of the two different incidents that have occurred.
All right, can I ask you a question though, just because it was brought up earlier and I wasn't sure, and that is the incident that you described in the petition, is that the thing that led to the criminal charges that Mr. Morgan referred to before? Or do you even know?
So I believe what Mr. Morgan is referring to is the incident on Memorial Day weekend where he had came over to our property.
I am uncomfortable with how far away from the desk they are sitting. Yeah, Julie, there is. But for everybody, it's different. But seriously, how far away from the desk they're sitting? When I'm at a desk, I'm like under it. I'm under it, and my arms are over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah. Yeah, edibles, indica edibles. Trial and error, start small, ramp up. Have a nice bath, go to bed. Well, there's only sativa and indica. That's like, it's like this, it's like a line. Everything in between, there's sativa and indica, and everything in between is a hybrid, but everything really is a hybrid. Why I mean that is like, there's not like one that we're not mentioning that you're missing. There's only the two and the combination of both. But within those, there's lots of strain effects. Point being is that if you think you've tried both of those and you're done, then you don't understand quite the nuances of it, which is totally fine. But indica edibles, start small, ramp your way up. Promise.
He believed that we were the ones that called Snap-on. That's untrue. We've never called the city or police on him ever. We can't even hear his dogs or anything because I know that that's been called before as well. So I think that that's what kind of heightened. He thought that we did something that we did not. There was, our children were present as well. That's why our children are a part of this petition. And then as he went to go walk back onto his own property, he made a threat towards my husband, saying, "I'm going to pursue you." Is that what he said? And then that what led to his arrest for that.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird how it happened because he had come over and then it just so happened there was a cop driving by and he pulled in on an unrelated topic between him and his wife. And he told him to go back out on his own property, and then he was mouthing off to the cop, and then it escalated. He ended up getting arrested from that. But in the meantime, he had threatened us twice. And the first time the cop was like, "That's a threat, go back on your own property, like, to just go over there." And then while the cop was then on their property is when he made the second threat, and that's what got him finally arrested. And that's the second instance. The first instance, he was mowing his lawn with the deck all the way down, and it was flinging rocks into the side of our shop. And then, so it's like his house, our shop, apartment, and then Jeff and Don's property. And it was just flying over the fence, hitting it. So I said, hey, can you raise your deck up? And he just flipped me off and then went back to mowing. So I just sat there and videotaped it. Then he came over to me. He's like, what's your problem? Called me the N-word, said he was going to call the cops. And I was like, you should. So then we talked to the police officer. He said that we should look into doing a protection order if he's coming onto our property, which after we had had that conversation, he came into our yard where I was doing a flower bed, walked through our flower bed, down the property line towards Jeff and Don's. There's a dividing fence there, and then back onto his property. So the cop was like, well, he's trespassing. You should possibly look into that. And then it was, I don't know what the time frame was, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after that was the second incident. And the scary part was he was coming into our property while our kids were in the yard aggressively. It wasn't like, hey bud, like what's going on here? It was aggressive.
All right, is there anything else I need to know before I hear Mr. Morgan's side of it? Okay. All right, then, Mr. Morgan.
Yeah.
Go right ahead, sir.
So the incident of rocks being flung is from March 23rd, where Devin proceeded to stand on some object or hold himself up on my 6-foot privacy fence in my backyard, where he continued to record me while I was mowing. I always mow my yard in an L pattern because of rocks. I go down my fence line of my other neighbor. I turn right and go down their fence line. That puts my rock guard that's on my deck, as well as my chute, points anything towards my house to cause damage to my house. That way I don't cause damage to anybody else's house. So that's from March 23rd. They say they were going to pursue something. Why are we waiting till June 6th? Why did you file on June 6th when on June 3rd I had filed? June 4th, I got the temporary order granted. June 5th, I got the Swansons served their temporary order. And then on June 6th, not only did the Swanson, but these people too, decided they were going to go down to the courthouse and try to get a cross order, which was denied. But I guess the Swanstroms were, or not Swanstroms, but the people in the courtroom right now were granted a hearing, which I don't know how, but somehow they failed to serve me. So I don't know how anything we can talk about March 23rd being part of this incident when we're March, April, May, June, we're almost 4 months. And there was no way I flung rocks. So, but the only thing I can tell you is that Devin did decide to hop over my fence. He did record me, which if I am correct under, I don't know the technical RCW, but you're not allowed to record somebody or take pictures of somebody in their own backyard. Did I tell him he's a piece of shit? Correct. Now we fast forward to where I got arrested on Memorial Day weekend. Memorial's Monday. So I got arrested that Saturday by Officer McClellan. I have gone to court on it for my arraignment. The judge did let the prosecuting attorney know that Isaiah, in the police report, it does state that I said, I will fight. You're right. I 100% did. Once I got out of jail, I started pursuing this order to protect me from these people because they've done nothing but cause problems. We've got sheds being built too close to our property. It doesn't meet city code. I've already been in contact with the city. I have notifications I should hear from him later today on that. I got gardens being grown right on my fence, causing weeds and all other stuff. I usually spray my fence line with Roundup. I've tried not to do that because these gardens are right on my fence line. So as far as I'm concerned, they're encroaching my property. They're invading my privacy. So at this point, you know, I just wish that the previous case would have been granted, because now I'm being attacked not only by the landlord, but I'm being attacked by the renters as well. Clear as day, they caused a nuisance, his renters. And then he's sitting here doing this as a retaliation on me. And also, if you could please look at the notice of serve on there. No evidence was served, just a notice of hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Yep.
All right, once again, this is not harassment. I'm sorry about that. So the conflicts between you as neighbors are not harassment. Your issues about how the lawn is mowed, where trucks are parked, displays of signs and decorations and windows, you're gonna have to find a way to deal with that in a peaceful way. But harassment means something else. It's a course of conduct directed at a specific person that harms them. And, you may have heard an earlier case involving stalking, which was a really good example of when that occurs, but that's not here. So this request is also going to be denied. You have any questions about that?
I just have proof that he's lying. I have videos of him launching the rocks.
Okay, all right, fine. I mean, you talked to me. I understand there was a conflict over how he was mowing his lawn. Okay, then that may have caused harm. That may have caused damage. I don't know. I could easily see rocks being flung from a lawnmower, damaging things like cars and windows and sort of like that. Fine. There may be a remedy there for that, but it's not harassment.
Okay. What about coming on to our property?
But you got to remember, you came over my 6-foot fence.
Hey, let's stop. Now we're not going to continue this in this forum. Okay, the parties have asked me to make a decision about an anti-harassment order. You've asked for an application of the law, an anti-harassment order. I've listened to your evidence. I've told you that there is no anti-harassment here. There is no harassment that can be granted. That's the end of it. Okay, now you've got to find a way to get along. If you're going to continue to go at each other, maybe you're going to be back here and next time it will be harassment. I don't know. But I'm saying you're going to be neighbors no matter what happens here. And probably a good idea to find a way to get along peacefully in your neighborhood. All right, but for today, what you've asked the court to do, which is grant an anti-harassment order, I can't do because the law doesn't support that. That's what I'm here to decide. All right, that'll be the end of your hearing. I'll get this order ready for you so that you all can have copies of it.
So I have one quick question.
Whoa.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Morgan.
So if emails continue to get sent to Snap-on, does that warrant warrant harassment? Because technically, the truck I own.
Mr. Morgan, I can't give you an advisory opinion on whether I'll issue an anti-harassment order in the future. That wouldn't be proper. Here's that.
Okay, thank you.
The clerk will make a quick copy of that for you.
I thought his roof was burnt out, sort of like a fire pattern, but it's tools, ladies and gentlemen. Not just him, but the fucking roof is lined with tools. Angela, I'm not gonna listen to you again. You're annoying me just being there. Doesn't it look like a charred board? Yeah. Supercharred. Supercharred, baby. Chicken salad sandwiches that Vicky's son is making. I wish I was taking a half of a one.
All right, next is going to be Michelle Armstrong and Angela Edwards.
No, no, it's not. Because we watched it yesterday and we saw her do this thing and we listened to it already. There's just a little bit at the very end. You'll see that we'll still watch TV. You guys. Let me see here. Quick question. It either isn't or the answer takes 20 minutes. Yeah, in court and in my life, that's the way that life goes. Next and last case for tonight, but we'll be back tomorrow. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. Pacific. No, Courtney, just this one. You're like a child trying to get extra dessert. Oh, I want dessert. I want dessert. Oh, I got this to show you guys. So I was talking to Courtney earlier. Oh, that's the French side. I'll show you the English side. S'mores kit, Swiss milk chocolate with the graham crackers and the marshmallows and a chocolate bar. A s'mores kit. It's a great value brand. I love them. And they give you 3 different instructions here at the top. There's campfire instructions, microwave instructions, and broiler instructions. I know I could make my own, not packaged. Julie, I could make the fucking graham crackers from scratch if I wanted to. But what I wanted was to buy the box so that I could have this tonight. That's the honest to God truth. And before I found that, I grabbed these. I don't know. These are like plain cookies. You know what I mean? You get these on the airplane, celebration cookies. Biscuits au chocolat. À beurre. Butter biscuits. Butter chocolate biscuits. I can't say it too loud.
All right.
No. I never once said I wasn't eating sugar. Bill? No. Why are people confused about this? I'm not drinking sugar. I'm eating all the sugar I want. It's not the point to quit eating what I want. I'm not trying to make myself fucking totally miserable for July. Like, I'm kicking one thing. Coca-Cola and coffee. Which is basically cream and sugar and sugar and sugar. That's those. But I'm still eating full fat and delicious things. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not delusional. I know I'm not gonna like have amazing results. Although my skin is looking like glowy. Although I do have a little blemish, but.
Next matter will be Jerry and Candace Livingston versus Jeffrey Hughes.
Hello.
Hi there, Ms. Livingston. All right, and Mr. Hughes, are you there?
I believe he jumped off of Zoom about an hour ago.
All right. Did he drop off?
Yeah, I don't see him here.
Okay.
Oh, Bill, you got me there. That's the reflection from the sugar coating. Well, now it's xylitol coating. mostly.
So this is number 25-181. I can see from the record here that Mr. Hughes was served and he was present earlier on the calendar and has not remained for his hearing. So I'll make a decision based on the contents of the petition. It looks like that petition was heard and a hearing was set by the court.
Your Honor, may I kind of add to something?
Can't, not really, no. I mean, I'm
Okay.
base the decision as to whether to issue an order based on what was filed and what Mr. Hughes had notice of. Yeah, I think that, yeah, I did review this petition earlier. I just. There we go.
I think you're right, Jonathan. I think every little healthy impact counts. Watch, I'm gonna drink some pure
And there
water
was some
now.
supplemental evidence filed as part of the petition.
Oh my god, that fucking bitch, it's from a bottle, you stupid whore. Drinking water doesn't count if it's from a bottle that you bought at Costco. Jerry knows what I'm talking about. That's right, Jerry. Doesn't fucking count. That's right. Both of these people seem like they're holding their phones at their feet and standing above them. Oh my god. Water, water, water. It is so hot in here, you guys. I don't even have a fan running. Not even my manual fan. Now I do. My manual fan is now engaged. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Watermelon Jesus, for providing your fan for me. But seriously, oh my lord. I like it hot, but I love some AC, girl. Bill, I know, and I've been drinking these sugar-free fucking Red Bulls. Honestly, not very cost effective. They got people up against the wall with these energy drinks. Even buying them, I've been sourcing them. It's expensive. Oh. I feel something on my back, but it's probably my own hair. Or just wind. Yes, Patrick, I brought out the boobs today. Jerry's not even impressed, though. Jerry, I tried really hard. It is expensive to be healthy. But water is not expensive. What is that? It is my hair, right? Water is not expensive. It is... Hi, Sean. But being bougie, like sugar-free, expensive. You know those poppy drinks? They're like $4 a can. No, absolutely not fucking happening. No. I'm not looking to spend more money. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not happening. You know what the key to my success has been this time around, folks? I'll tell you the truth. It's right there. This cup. Oh, hit exclamation mark pink. I think John's comes up. This part, which is ice, and my cup. Ice in my cup. Ice in my cup. ice in my
All right,
cup.
Mr. and Ms. Livingston, I've
Oh, but it can't
issued
be ice
your
that I made.
anti-harassment order by default. That order's in effect for the next year until July 7th of 2026.
Okay.
The court clerk will send you your copies of that before the end of the day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and we have an unaddressed case here. That's Jaden Tooley versus Matthew Green.
Matthew,
Number
Jaden.
25-193. And neither party is present. There's no temporary order issued and notice was not served, so this will be dismissed.
Sick, bro. That's what I say all the time. And he will sit here and do this paperwork and we will say goodbye because that is the end of that for us this evening. Everybody, you guys, I love you all so much. I'm so glad that we spent so much time together today. If you're a member but you weren't with us this morning, go back and watch Members Only. It was actually pretty good. Full of random shit. Tomorrow's going to be even better. Wild Woman Wednesday over with the boys, and then you come around here, you got a Wild Woman on a Wednesday. It's exciting. The tits will be out, I promise. I'm making a commitment now. No more high neck shirts all week. Wait, just Jugs July for the rest of July, okay? Just Jugs July. No more high neck shirts, only Jugs, all for July. JJJ. That's my commitment to you guys, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you guys. So, make sure to tune in every night from here until the ever. Seriously though, do me a favor. Remember that I love you, and I'm proud of you, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.
Ways down and ready to ride.